Good evening and welcome to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Eric Farmer. Today is Saturday, June 13th, 2026. And yeah, it's starting to dry up out here this week. Last week we had a little bit of rain. The weeks before we had a little rain, snow. But yeah, now it seems like it's all drying up again. And yeah, a little frightening because we just had enough rain to make the grass grow all over the county, and now it's just stopped. But we did have a few drops of rain this afternoon, but yeah, nothing that would do any help to the situation, the drought that we're in. We are expecting a super El Nino to come, they're saying. We'll see what that brings, but yeah, apparently we're going into an El Nino this next winter. But yeah, we got to get through this summer first. And if we do get an El Nino, will we get a significant amount of rainfall, snowfall to make a difference in this fucking drought that we've been living under for quite a few years now. But yeah, not too optimistic about the weather this summer. I mean, hopefully we can get a few rain showers here, but yeah, it's nice out, man. At least it's nice and green for now. You could tell that it's all starting to dry up out there. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out, man. And keep our fingers crossed that we can get some much needed rainfall. But I don't control the weather, so I can't make it rain. But anyways, yeah, what the hell's going on? Oh, man, there's so much going on. Where do we begin? Own nothing and be happy. That's the thing that comes to mind right now, man. With just the relentless economic war that they're waging on us. It's just unfucking real, man. Every fucking day the prices just keep going up and up and up. It's pretty obvious what's happening here, man. They're really pushing this Agenda 2030, right? By the 2030, most of us are going to be fucking dead at this rate. It's just no doubt about it in my mind, man. If something doesn't change, it's just insane. They're just relentlessly terrorizing us with economic warfare. Every time we go to the store, the prices are higher. Even though the price of gas hasn't gone up much, but it hasn't gone down either. It's just staying right at right here. It's like almost $5 a gallon. So yeah, it's just depressing, really. Look at the situation. Just got to live frugally as possible. It doesn't bother me too much. I don't need much to survive, but I can see a lot of people are just losing it, man. I can see it, man. I don't need a lot to survive, but I don't have a family. I don't have children, I just can't imagine how difficult things would become for. It's just insane. But yeah, I guess Trump, he decided not to attack Iran after all. I guess he kind of pulled out a mini ceasefire here to see what, that's just all a bunch of garbage, man. This whole bullshit in Iran, it's all really a war on us, man. That's what it is. They're going to blame it on a war against Iran, but it's really, they're waging war on us. And I, for one, I'm just tired of it all, man. Fuck. How much can a motherfucker take? Yeah. Trump doesn't really give a shit about the American people, he says. The only thing that matters is Iran does not get a nuclear bomb. But some people are saying now that Iran already has a nuclear bomb. I was watching Redacted with Clayton Morris. And they were talking about Iran already has a nuclear bombs, more than one. I ain't buying it, man. I don't think anybody really has one. That's my opinion. They don't exist. They never did. Believe me, they got things that are much more frightening than nuclear bombs. Okay. I mean, yeah, nuclear bombs are pretty frightening, but yeah, I think that they got some weaponry out there that we don't know about. You know, they just keep pushing this fake nuclear threat, right? Iran, you know, it's how they justify these wars, right? We got to stop them from getting the big stick so they can come and attack us with it. It's fucking garbage. I never bought any of it, you know. And then the one nuclear attack, there was like 2 nuclear attacks in world history, and I believe both of them were fake. They firebombed the fuck out of those Japanese cities and claimed that they dropped nuclear bombs on them. No, it's not. That's just me, you know. But most people I know would just roll their eyes at me so hard when I mention this sort of thing to them, that they really love the idea that nuclear bombs are real, you know. And to question it is just, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Insanity? No, beyond insanity. Blasphemy. If you don't believe that we have that nuclear bombs really exist, you hate God. Basically, is what most people believe. Ronzi, what's up? Remember telling you about the dude at Denver Airport. It was on May 12th. Michael Mott, 41, was fatally struck by a Frontier Airlines jet on a Denver runway Friday night at 11:19 p.m. Holy shit. How the fuck does that happen? That's crazy. Okay. I'll look it up. Let's see. Let's see. Man struck by jet in Boulder, in Colorado, on the night of May 8, 2026. A 41-year-old Michael Mott. You said May 8. You said May 12. May 8. It says here May 8, 2026. 41-year-old Michael Mott was fatally struck by a Frontier Airlines jet, Denver International Airport. Mott scaled an 8-foot perimeter fence, walked onto an active runway into the path of the aircraft during takeoff. Denver authorities ruled the death a suicide. Holy shit. The Frontier Airlines Flight 4345 Airbus headed to Los Angeles with 230 people on board was on its takeoff roll. The collision, Mott was drawn into one of the jet's engines. Holy shit. Causing it to catch fire and forcing the pilot to abort the takeoff. Passengers were forced to evacuate the smoke-filled cabin using emergency inflatable slides. And 12 passengers suffered minor injuries, with 5 requiring hospitalization. Security response, ground detection sensors triggered an alarm, but responding operators mistakenly identified the source as a herd of deer outside the fence line. Wow. Crazy. Sanity, man. Shit. Well, that's one way to get yourself out of this fucking nightmare. It's funny. I imagine if you were watching the news here in Denver, it should have been all over the headlines. I don't watch the news in Denver, so I don't really know what's going on with that with local news. But yeah, that's what people are coming to, man. Desperate acts of desperation like that, man. It's like, fuck it, man. Life has become too difficult for too many people, man. So shit like that happens, man. You know, I could think of probably better way to do yourself in. I know, I'm not sure if it's true. You know how they love their psyops hoaxes. Yes. Yeah, he was sucked into the engine. Sounds a little bit fishy to me, but why would they lie? Says man struck by, oh shit, there's like an infrared photo of it. Infrared video.
Next tonight, disturbing new details in that horrific scene on the runway at Denver Airport. Authorities identifying the man struck by a passenger jet, saying he scaled the 8-foot security fence and cleared the barbed wire in just seconds before making it onto the runway. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, authorities revealing new details about the deadly security breach on a Denver runway just as a Frontier Airlines jet was roaring for takeoff.
This was a horrible tragedy
that
has affected many people.
41-year-old Michael Mott, identified as the man seen in surveillance video at 11:13 p.m. Friday, taking only 15 seconds to climb an 8-foot perimeter fence topped with barbed wire near that runway. Just 2 minutes later, he casually walks into the path of that passenger jet, killed by its engine.
Damn.
There was an individual walking across the runway. We've got smoke in the aircraft. We're going to evacuate on the runway.
The engine bursting into flames, smoke filling the cabin, passengers forced to evacuate by emergency slides.
I guess it was on the news.
Denver's airport facilities are twice the size of Manhattan.
Now, there you go. But yeah, it looked pretty true, but yeah, you never know. Because yeah, you can't believe anything that's on the mainstream media, man. They won't tell us anything, any true facts. Cleared the barbed wire. Wow. Yeah. Pretty much everything that they want us to know is fake, and anything that's real, they hide from us, right? So pretty much everything that comes on the news, you can't believe a fucking word of it. So yeah, I don't know. Because anything you don't see with your own eyes these days, you know, you just can't fucking believe it. But yeah, it's crazy what's going on, man. That's why they're, you know, everybody's just talking about AI and data centers. And you know what? You know, all the damage that data centers do to the world, right? They don't give a shit about that. But if you and I drive out our cars, that's the end of the fucking world, right? Usually characters with the same initials as a hoax code. Yeah, so yeah, everything is backwards, man. So, you know, that's how they work, man. It's all fake lies. You know, they're the archons, man. They can't create anything. They can only steal. You know, they cannot tell the truth. They can only lie. They turn everything upside down and backwards. Michael Mott. Same initials as the hoax. Wow. How is that the same initials as the hoax? That's crazy, man. I bet you he died real fast if it's true. Yeah, sad. 41 years old, man. It's to be pushed to that, you know, extreme at that young of an age. So, a lot of people just can't take it no more, man. They've reached the end of the line, man. A lot of people have. It's gotten so bad. Relentless economic pressure on people. People are snapping, man. You can only take a human can only take so fucking much shit. And then they just fucking lose it, man. Everybody has their breaking point, man. And I think a lot of people are reaching it, man. Who, the tiny hats? Yes. I heard Elon Musk. He reached over $1 trillion. He's a trillionaire now. Congratulations to Elon. Woo! The world's first trillionaire on paper. But they say once the AI bubble bursts, he will drop back down to a mere multi hundred of billionaire status. But for a while, he will be the world's first trillionaire. I hate fucking robot. I think when I look at Elon Musk, I think of a fucking robot. World's wealthiest man. He was really a welfare queen. The government gave him billions of dollars to develop his electric cars, right? Biggest pieces of shit on the planet. These fucking electric cars are death traps. I saw one video where this guy, the fucking car locked him in automatically. The door's fucking locked. He couldn't, and then the car started filling up with smoke. It was killing him. And he was lucky enough that he was able to kick the fucking window open and get out of the car before he died. Yeah. Listen to these electric cars, man. They're moving time bombs, man. Really. Those batteries. And when they go up, when they go into thermal runaway and start putting out the fumes are so fucking toxic. It's insane. You breathe a couple breaths of that and you're fucking done. Why the fuck would they do that? Why would they put these cars on the road with, they hit a bump too hard and all of a sudden their batteries start burning and fucking the doors lock and they're trapped inside. It's insane. The old gasoline cars are dangerous enough. But these fucking electric cars, who knows how many people have been killed by electric cars already, just from them bursting into flames, locking the passenger in, locking the doors, man. They lock the fucking doors on you. You can't get out. And it's just, don't get me started on cars nowadays, man. Holy fuck. I guess I got myself started on it, but yeah, I was talking about Elon Musk. Yeah, it's all, yeah, and they're doing so much to get rid of gasoline cars now that it's such a big, huge conspiracy going on, man, that everybody's talking about how they want to do away with the old car. That's why they're changing the gasoline so it destroys old engines, and so you'll be eventually your old car is going to break down because of the gas that they're fucking making nowadays. So they're trying to they're really trying to force everybody out of any older cars and into the newer cars, which are totally spying on us. They have all this equipment on them. The new car in 2027, every new car will have spyware on them, where they just, and all that data, they got cameras, like multiple cameras watching you drive, and the kill switch, and all that shit. So yeah, it's a big, and all these fucking junkyards around the country are burning down now, man, to destroy all the old car parts. So you can't get parts for your old cars. It's you can just see what's going on, man. It's all about getting rid of the old cars and forcing people into new cars that are garbage, and they're all electric and they'll kill you. If I was young, I'd have one of those electric dirt bikes. They look like fun. I've ridden one. Yeah, they're pretty fun. But I don't like anything electric, man. And yeah, now they want to make e-bikes. They want you to get a license for your e-bike. You have to have insurance on it. It's just a never-ending bullshit in this fucking world, man. It's just they constantly got their hand in your pocket. Just people can't take it anymore, man. It's an unwinnable game, and the prices just keep going up. They're just forcing people out into homelessness, and a lot of people are fucking checking out of the world. Put it that way. But yeah, I don't like electric vehicles either, but I make an exception for that. Yeah, all electric bikes are fun. Dirt bikes, just regular electric bicycles, man, it's a blast. But man, they're so dangerous. Those batteries are just so volatile. I don't trust them at all. I've seen so many videos of people charging their bikes in their house, and all of a sudden the shit just goes up, it just explodes, and they burn their whole fucking house down. When I charge my batteries, my tool batteries, the whatever they call them, I can't think what the name, but they're ion whatever batteries. I charge them outside, man. I don't even charge them inside the house. I put them outside because I'm concerned that I'll be charging a battery and it'll fucking explode. And if it's in the house, because I've heard of it happening to people, just a regular DeWalt lithium ion, that's the name of it. Yeah, these lithium ion batteries, they could explode at any time. People don't realize that, how fucking dangerous they are. Because I've been working with lithium ion batteries for 30 years now, probably, and never had a problem with them. But you can feel them; they're fucking hot after you really work them. And you go to put them back after you drain them all the way down and go to put them back in the charger. They're pretty fucking hot in your hand, And at any moment while you're running that tool, that battery could just fucking explode right in your face. So yeah, it's really bad what they're doing with this electric shit, man. And what they got to do to get the minerals and shit that they need, the lithium to fucking make these batteries. They got to destroy all kinds of fucking, habitat and shit, and force people out of their homes. Yeah, it's just what's going on in the world right now is just so fucking evil, man. It's unbelievable. With these data centers, AI, fucking batteries, fucking electric cars, flock cameras. I mean, the dragnet that they put out, they can track you all the way across the fucking country now. And all they have to do is read your license plate as you drive by, and they know everywhere you've been, where you came from, where you're going. It's insane. I mean, yeah, all the cop has to do is look, you go by and it reads your license plate, and then all this data pops up about your whole journey. They know everything, where you've been, where you've come from. It's insane. And then now they want to store all that, everything. They're doing it. Every single piece of data that they fucking collect on you is thrown into your profile automatically. Everybody has a profile. It matches up with your license plate. Bam, that goes into your fucking profile. And then they just, it all pops up when you go by them, man. Your whole profile pops up on a screen to them, and they can see everything. Your whole life story just by driving by them with your fucking license. It's insane, man. I mean, these people are so fucking paranoid, man. Who behind the mass migration? You guessed it. It's Tiny Hats. Look up Barbara Spector. Barbara Spector. Let's see. Barbara. Barbara. Damn, I need glasses, man. My eyes just don't work anymore. Barbara Spector, man. It sounds like a ghost. You ever heard of a ghost called a specter? Barbara, oh, she looks like a ghost. Barbara Lerner Spectral. 84 years old. Barbara Spector is an academic and philosophy lecturer who is the founding director of Paideia, the European Institute for Tiny Hat Studies in Sweden, a non-denominational academic institute established in 2001. Born in 1942, right at the height of World War II. Who is Barbara Spector? Where does Barbara Spector teach? A tiny hat voice. So yeah. She's been around for way too long. She's a real sphincter. You know. I've never heard of her, but yeah. She openly talks out, openly boasting about, huh? Could you play a clip off YouTube? What? Barbara Spector? Sphincter? It's only a minute. Let's see what we got. Which clip are you talking about? Quick facts. Who is Barbara Spector, founding Paideia, formerly on the faculty of the Hartman Institute of Advanced Tiny Hat Studies in Jerusalem, where she taught tiny hat thought. She was among the founders of the Seminary of Judaic Studies in Jerusalem. So yeah, she's a real. Which clip, man? Let's see if I put it on YouTube. Type in Barbara. What is her name? Barbara Spector. Barbara Spector. Let's see what we got here. It's a 1 minute clip. Barbara Spector, the tiny hat implementation of multi. All right. Is it going to play? No. Let's see.
and who funds it? Originally, it was funded through a grant of the Swedish government. And that was rather remarkable. Unfortunately, it was a one-time grant when we were on our own. Actually, people responded. I did a lot of time in fundraising in the States, which was really rather remarkable because in fundraising conversations, and so we were able to do that. Right now, a great deal of our funding comes from the European Union because they see us as the quintessential European project, that we promote a European identity, which is as they say, Jewish identity has been the European identity. So the EU, for a great extent, now the Swedish government as well gives a grant. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover everything. The Folkhögskolan is funded by the government. We still do fundraising, and actually,
They always need money.
Someone once said to me, thank you for allowing us to participate in this. I think it's a remarkable thing to see who these people are. More about the program, close to 900 graduates all over Europe. You can find them, just scratch the surface and you'll find them. And a strong alumni network. By the way, a yearly conference throughout Europe. You're invited. This year it's going to be where, Annalie? I forgot where our conference is going to be. In any case, I thought it might be in Croatia. In any case, we had
Saloniki.
It's right. So we're gonna go Greek, which is now. By the way, a lot of it's contained in the word paideia. Paideia is a Greek term, but that was a Greek concept that Alexander the Great brought to the ancient Near East. That said, you know what? If you want to become, they couldn't control all these cultures, so they gave a way for people to become Greek, and that was through studying Greek text. That was Paideia. Ben Sira in the 1st century, before the Common Era, took that notion and formed the first Bate Midrash. Paideia is a Beit Midrash, but we used this European word, Paideia, to show that we're dedicated to the enrichment of the conversation between Europe and Judaism. We learned our Beit Midrash is really because there was Greek Paideia. So there's a lot just in the word itself.
Yep. She's a real cutie, all right. That's not the one, but it's an older clip. There's one with only her. Now, let's see if I could find another one.
And such. As we heard, there are people in Sweden who support Israel and have a deep sense of the injustice of the present situation. It's these people who give hope to those who still believe that things will get better here. One of them is Barbara Spector, a former American who made Aliyah and then 10 years ago, with the help of the government of Sweden, set up a non-denominational institute of Jewish learning with the Greek name of Paideia here in Stockholm. She believes the current wave of anti-Semitism in Sweden will pass and that Jews have an important role to play in a country undergoing profound change.
I think there's a resurgence of anti-Semitism because at this point in time, Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural. And I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role. But without that leading role and without that transformation, Europe will not survive.
Paideia.
Fucking ghoul. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of ghoulish, man. But yeah. You really think that these tiny hat people are the heart of all the problems in the world. You know, I think it's them and the people that, you know, they're all part of it, man. It's the Zion, man, the Zionist. You don't have to be a tiny hat to be a part of that club, you know, like, you know, Trump, Obama, Biden, they're all part of it. They're just fucking puppets. Anybody in the government is a fucking puppet. They're having their strings pulled and they're doing what they're told. You know, but that's the problem that most Americans have, man, is they cannot get that through their fucking mind that Trump does not run the fucking country. But they really believe he does. That's how they get people, man. They got them so fucking dumbed down, and you know they can't see the truth. That the puppets that you see on the spotlight, you know, they are not the ones that are really in control. But most people, they just want to blame everything on Trump, right? It's all Trump's fault. You know, Trump did this and Trump, he didn't do nothing. He's playing a role. Okay? Trump didn't do a fucking thing. He's reading a script and he's playing a role. That's all it is. It's not Trump. It's people that are controlling Trump. God. But, you know, it's so hard to get people to understand that. They don't want, they cannot believe, you know, that the president of the United States is not in control. They have, you know, and that's a big problem, man. You know, you can't, I don't know if it's that big of a problem because it really doesn't matter who's in control. But it just helps. It helps them because people blame everything on the president, right? And then they turn around and change presidents, right? Every 4 years. Then they blame everything on that president, and then they change president. You see what's going on here? God damn, people are stupid. Maybe it's me, man. Maybe I'm the one that's dumb here. You know, and then the president's gone and everybody forgets about him. And blame everything on the next president. That's the whole game. And all the Congress and the Senate, they're all, you know, they're all part of the show. And it's I always call it the grand shit show. You know, it's all. But you know, they've done a real good job of convincing people that it's all fucking real when it's just a fucking show. It's a ride. Like Bill Hicks says, life is just a ride. It's fast and it's got bright lights and it has a bunch of turns and it goes up and down and it's exciting. But then one day you wake up and you say, wait a minute, this is all just a fucking ride. And then the real powerful people, they don't want you to understand that. It's like, what do you mean it's just a ride? No, it's real. Look at the worry in my eyes. Look at my big bank account. It's got to be real. Yeah, Bill Hicks was funny. But, you know, he was probably part of the show, too. I used to really like Bill Hicks, but I've learned he just turned into Alex Jones. But yeah, I think, you know, they have people like Bill Hicks to, you know, put a little bit of truth out there. They call them gatekeepers, right? They tell you a little bit of, you know, reality and truth, in fact, but, you know, they also give you a lot of disinformation along the way. They don't tell you the whole truth because otherwise they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be in the spotlight like Alex Jones, who some people believe is Bill Hicks. They were all powerful. They wouldn't need to continue the show. Yeah. They need to, though, man. They're like the Wizard of Oz, right? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I am the all-powerful, mighty Wizard of Oz. Woo. And it was all a big bullshit. Yeah, that movie, man, The Wizard of Oz, tells a lot of the story. It was how it all works. If you read between the lines of that movie, man, it's all a big bunch of bullshit and deception. And that proves it. That one scene, right? Where the guy that was controlling the Wizard of Oz was hiding behind a curtain, pulling all the strings and levers, making the Wizard of Oz look all scary and frightening. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. They were telling us it all, that movie back in 1938 or something. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz is an allegory, man. Some people, I've watched a lot of videos about the true meaning behind the Wizard of Oz. And a lot of people have a lot of different ideas of what it's really all about. Like they live, yeah. Some people say Oz, it stands for ounce, which is, it's all about gold. Like the yellow brick road, like the road to heaven is paved with gold. Some people say, yeah, it's all about like the gold standard and how they then they took the world off the gold standard and gave us fiat currency, right? Which is not backed by anything. The money we use now is fucking worthless, and that's why, it keeps buying less and fucking less every goddamn day. Because they can make it worth what they can print as much of it as they want. So there's no scarcity to it. It's not backed by anything. It's just at the whim of the fucking Federal Reserve, right? They can lower and raise the value of the money anytime they want, just by printing more. Basically, like the dollar is like an ocean, and it just keeps rising and rising. And I mean, that's how many dollars there are, man. Yeah, backed by debt, yeah. And they just keep adding to the debt, adding to the debt, adding to the debt. It's ridiculous, man. Fuck it. And then ever since that, Nixon took America off the gold standard, and then the national jet it's so ridiculous, man. How the whole thing works. Most people just don't have a clue how the American monetary system works. They just say, oh man, why the prices keep going up, man? Goddamn. You see this here bag of Doritos cost me $12. Fuck. And that's where it's headed. Right now, no, a bag of Doritos is like $8 or $9 in most of the United States right now. Yeah, they're in hot water, man. People are boycotting them. Fuck Frito-Lay. They're not. And Pepsi, now Pepsi is higher. They're getting rid of all their truck drivers and replacing them with self-driving fucking trucks. Right? Yeah. That's where we're headed, man. Here's one for you, man. I recently found out. The game Pokemon Go? You know what that was all about? That was all about data collection. They had millions and millions and millions of people walking around with their cameras filming shit exactly where they wanted them to go and film. They'd say, okay, the monster's over there. You got to find it. The Pokemon's over there. And so they would go, and they would find, and they were using, and they were taking photos, right? And so they built a database of 30 billion photos from Pokemon Go. And now they're using those 30 billion photos to train AI delivery robots. That's what that was all about. That was Pokemon. It was for. You really that shit? Yeah, it's true. They created this whole Pokemon Go game, and people were fucking falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. And it was really all about collecting data to train the replacements of humanity. Yeah. Yeah, look it up, man. Yeah, no shit. like 30 billion photos in their database for their AI to train fucking delivery robots. You know, doesn't it make sense? Doesn't it sound like something that these fucking scumbags would do? Man, it's just amazing how deep these plans go. They've been doing it forever, man. This whole thing, you know, YouTube, everything, it was all planned out. They knew that what they were doing. They created YouTube to get everybody into it, right? Remember how good YouTube was in the beginning? How it was, oh man, it was awesome, man. You could customize your own channel, and then they just slowly took all that shit away gradually and changed all the rules once they have everybody sucked into it, right? That's the model for big tech. They get everybody into it for free, and then they fucking raise the prices or change the terms. Right? It's all great and good at first. Everybody loves it. Nobody loves it anymore. Everybody just complains, you know, you got to be careful what you say on YouTube. You know, you get shadow banned. A lot of people think my channel is shadow banned. No, my channel just sucks. That's all. But yeah, they did that, man. And they saw, they knew what was coming. They designed it all. They planned it all out. And they made it real good at first. It's called enshittification. And then everything just gets gradually shittier until the point we're at now, which is total enshittification, they call it. Not a term I made up, but it deals with that subject where things are great at first. They suck everybody into it, and then they pull the fucking rug out and make it up. Once they got everybody, you know, hooked on it and all in on it, they start to enshittify it. Yeah. You saw it like 2011, 2012 was when they really started to pull the rug out on YouTube and change all the terms and the rules. And start pointing out all these new community guidelines. You can't say this, you can't say that. You know, and all the videos that I used to watch are gone now about the real, you know, truth. They would call the truth movement videos, right? Pretty much all gone. You don't see no videos about that day in September or that, you know, that spill that happened out in that Gulf. You don't really hear much about it anymore. It all just kind of disappears, you know, and they're just, now it's just whatever. That's how it is. The stories, they come up and they're like, oh, it's such a big deal. And then they just disappear. And then the next big story comes up. And then, you know, that goes as far as they can take it. And then that disappears. And then a new story comes up, you know. It's not just YouTube. It's just the whole internet, you know. It used to be better. And now it's, see, now they have to suck money out of everything. You see, like AI now, it's all free, right? You know, how do they do that? How do they offer you all this AI, you know, content for free, whatever they call it? You know, you can use ChatGPT for free for how many years now? Well, they're going to pull the rug on that too, and they're going to start charging people for that shit. I guarantee it. And when they write certain names in Word, I know it's like, man, Hitler would be so jealous of I said the H word. Oops. You know, that guy with this tiny mustache, he would be jealous of what they fucking have now, huh? It's like, holy shit. He would be like masturbating in his grave over this shit. Damn. It's just, it's insane what's going on in the world now, man. It's just total surveillance state, total police state. They track every fucking thing you do. I'm not the smartest person in the world to be sitting here on the internet talking about it either. But What else is there to talk about, you know? What else really fucking matters? Yeah. But no, it was all done. They knew exactly what they were doing when they created all these internet, you know, what do they call them? Websites, Facebook, YouTube. And then it evolved from there, Instagram, which is part of Facebook. I've never used Instagram, you know, I never used Snapchat or shit like that. Never really used TikTok. I don't use Facebook. I just use YouTube. That's it. That's where I get all my information from. I don't have cable TV. I look at some other website. I look at like Reddit sometimes. I look at, what else do I look at on the internet? Not a lot, man. I know it's all bullshit. Like, see, I told you so. But no, that's a big topic these days. It's shitification, man. Look it up, man. But it was all, you know, and now the internet is totally overrun with AI content and fake people, fake robots, they call them. They call them bots. But they're not really bots. You know, all the terminology we use nowadays is all wrong, man. You know, like a bot is like a robot is like a thing that can move around, you know, that has motion and it can do work and shit in the real world. But the things that they call bots online are just like programs, you know, algorithms, whatever the fuck they want to call them. They're not really robots, but they call them bots because they're like an artificial intelligence in a way. They're not really. They just go around the internet and post comments everywhere. You know, and they can argue with you. You know, it's like a chat GPT. And you can have whole arguments with, and you think you're arguing with a real person, but it's not. You're arguing with a fucking machine. Not just a machine, the machine, you see? It's the machine because it's all connected together. It has access to all the files everywhere. You see what I'm saying? It's not just one program in one computer somewhere. It's all throughout the internet. Do you believe story about bars of soap and lampshades? I don't believe it, but I've heard it. I'm sure there's some truth to it for sure. Yeah, no doubt. They made fucking soap out of humans and lampshades, and they eat them too, and they're feeding it to us. This is how fucking fucked up the world is. It always has been too. We're just seeing the end of a fucking era, man. Not an era, but, you know, we're at the precedence of a reset, as you might say. Most of us are gonna not make it very much longer, I don't think. I think we got a few years left. Hence, Agenda 2030. We will own nothing and we will be happy because we'll be not living anymore. You think they made the movie Soylent Green for no reason? No, I think they've been putting humans in food for a long time. Ugh. Be careful what you eat out there, man. Try to eat the best food you could possibly. If you can make your own food, make it. You can't trust anything you buy at the grocery store, man. You don't know what the fuck is in it. You really don't. But oh, you know, we got to eat something, right? Hunger sucks. I know I've gone hungry before, man. It's no fun. It's the worst fucking thing in the world, man. But a lot of people are going hungry, man. It's sad, man. It only hurts for a while. Once you get to a certain point, you're like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Do I have a garden? No, I do not. But I live at 9,000 feet, so it's hard to grow anything. Our grow season is very short, but yeah, I have no excuse. I should probably build myself a greenhouse, whatever it takes. And, I don't really care about myself that much, man. If I suffer and die, I don't give a shit. You know, I feel bad for the young children and shit. They have to try. They have hope and they want to have a life in this world, you know. A life that a lot of people my age, we've already lived. You know, now they want to steal it from the young people of today. That's the saddest thing about it to me, man. Yeah, my name is Farmer, but I still can't grow a fucking thing. I'm sure I could if I put my mind to it. Sure, anybody could grow a garden. You don't have to be a genius to plant some seeds and make them grow. It's all done by nature, really. You know, there's these birds that live in my yard, man. I'm so jealous of them. These little tiny birds, they look like miniature sparrows. But you know what? All they eat are dandelions. You know, that's the world is their fucking garden. You know, to fly around the country and eat dandelions. You know, I'm like, man, what a fucking great life, man. Not a care in the world. The creature buying all the farmland and building data centers. Yeah, man. It's hard to believe, man. That's all that people are talking about these days, man. Data centers and AI. That's the two biggest stories in the world right now, right? Besides Taylor Swift's getting married or some shit. You know. A shit fly is more free than us. Yep. And so, yeah, how long is it going to go on before people just say, man, we've had enough? I don't think it'll ever happen because they got Americans so brainwashed and so dumbed down and so docile that they will never fucking fight back. If the Americans were going to fight back, it would have happened by now. I'm jealous of that shit fly. Yeah, I'd rather have his life than mine. Or the fucking... I don't like is the flies that try to bite me all the time, man. We got these flies up here. We call them deer flies. And they're nasty fucking things, man. When they bite you, it hurts real bad. For a little fly bite, you're like, ow! Motherfucker. Usually I can kill them though because they're so reckless that they just keep attacking you till you fucking swat them. Because they're so desperate to suck your blood like a fucking tick. The ticks are a big problem too. I got a tick on me recently, man. And I'm up at like 8,000 to 9,000 feet of elevation. But where I got bit was like at 8,500 feet, you know. But my neighbor over here at 9,000 feet pulled a tick off. She found this tick on her fucking carpet, I guess, or somewhere in her house. It was all full of blood and like had like dog hair on it. She don't know if it came off her cat or her dog. Yeah, these ticks, they got these. It's a big story too nowadays, the tick situation. It doesn't cost him anything to, the little birdies that eat the fucking dandelions outside. You know, the world is their fucking garden. Except for it's being sprayed by whatever the fuck's coming out of the sky. You know the quote by Thomas Jefferson. I don't know. I do not know. No, not off the top of my head. I sure would. Freedom and slavery, something like that. The cost of freedom is blah, 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 blah. It's like not worth a fiddler Spock. I don't know. Well, that was Benjamin Franklin, right? A man who gives up liberty for security deserves neither liberty nor security. Yeah. If you give up your liberty for security, basically saying you doomed yourself. But that was Thomas Jefferson. No, that was I think Benjamin Franklin, who was never even a president. I don't know why the fuck Benjamin Franklin is so famous. Because he discovered electricity. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, the Tree of Liberty. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, Benjamin Franklin, right? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say about Benjamin Franklin, but yes, I do know that one by Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, homie. You see, what does that one comedian say? George Carlin, he says, America was founded by a bunch of slave owners who wanted to be free. Yeah, I'm jealous of the animals in the world that don't have to pay rent to live, don't have to buy food. Their food is provided. But, a lot of those animals are being forced out by humans. Oh, man, there's just nothing nice in this world, man. I'm sorry. Wish the world was much better. We could talk about fun stuff, like puppy dogs and kitty cats. No, we got to talk about turds like Elon Musk, who is a trillionaire now. And Elon Musk says people aren't going to need money much longer. Pretty soon, the people aren't going to need money anymore. It's like, oh, that's good news, Elon. Maybe you could give away your $1 trillion now if we don't need money no more. So when people don't need money, then how are you going to be so wealthy and powerful if nobody needs your fucking money? Because I will just be Elon Musk. What did you think about that fucking New York Knicks game that just happened, where the cheapest tickets are $10,000 and the most expensive are over $100,000 to go see a fucking basketball? People are paying $100,000 to go see a fucking basketball game. And I think Taylor Swift bought 4 or 5 tickets, so her and her buddies and her bodyguard could be there. People don't want to have kids anymore. How bad do you have? So yeah, Taylor Swift paid like $500,000 to go to the fucking Knicks game, just to say, "Look at me, I'm a billionaire because of you stupid fuckers." Elon, my favorite Martian. Hey, what's up, Leo? You ever see that picture of Elon Musk smoking weed? It's pretty funny. He was smoking weed with Joe Rogan. was he really? Was he just faking it? He was like, he looked like he really inhaled it. So he can't be like Bill Clinton, who said, yeah, I smoked pot when I was in college, but I didn't inhale. I didn't inhale. Inhale to the chief. That's what we used to say when Clinton was president. Inhale to the chief. He's like, did you smoke weed? It's like some reporter asked him, did you ever smoke pot when you were in college? He's like, yeah, I smoked pot, but I didn't inhale. That was the fun. One of the funniest things I think I ever heard a politician say. Ask Hillary. I think I smoked weed with Hillary, but neither one of us inhaled. Oh, you can't make it up, man. Oh, it's hilarious. Yes, my favorite Martian. I used to love that show when I was a kid. That's how old I am. But I didn't see I saw the reruns. I'm not that old. I watched the fucking reruns, okay? But you know, when you're a kid, that name intrigues you. My favorite Martian. That sounds interesting. You know, we had like a Martian was like a generic term for any kind of alien, right? Any kind of alien, we called it a Martian. It must have been from Mars. But you see that, man, I remember that TV show when I was a kid. Where that Martian had magical powers, man. He could like go, like make shit move around, and like, yeah, he had magic powers. Like, so they were saying that Martians were like fucking magic. It's amazing how many of those old TV shows were like all based on fucking witchcraft and magic. We got to check Elon's head for antenna. Because they know, man, magic is possible, as they, you know, impossible things are possible through technology, you see. They knew that. They knew about technology, but the rest of us didn't know about it because they squashed it from us. Because I really think that, you know, high technology has been around for a long time. They've had this technology forever. They just introduce it to the humans slowly, and then they reset it and do it all over again. They start over with the wheel and the fucking, you know, create a whole new technology, and then build technology as they go, and they create, and they have all these fake people who invented this and invented that, but they didn't invent nothing. It was already there, but they just had to make it. They had to make up a story of where this technology came from, when it's really been around forever. That's my personal opinion. I'm fucking crazy though, you know. And they're going to reset our society, and they'll do it all over again. You know who they are. I think it's some very immortal beings that have been around for a long fucking time, and they just treat humans like they're fucking aquarium, or you know, like there's their personal zoo of animals that they can just manipulate, and you know, that's how crazy I am. That's the only conclusion I can come to, man. When I've looked into all this shit and like Tartaria and all that shit like that, there was technology before. They're trying to hide it from us. That's where they totally rewritten history. And that's why they create wars and destroy whole areas to wipe out history so they could tell us their own fucking story about history. It's fucking insane, man. Okay. We got to check Elon's head for it. Yeah, I already read that one. Yeah, remember My Favorite Martian? He had the antennas would come up like from your TV. When he wanted to, he could extend his antennas. It was so ridiculous, man. You know, it was cool back in the 60s and 70s. 1960s and 70s, that is. Some people might not know that anymore. It was the 1900s. Yeah, some of us lived back in the 1900s, man. Remember what the 1900s were like. And it was a whole lot different in the 2000s. Man, the 2000s it fucking sucked. The whole 20 fucking 6 years have sucked. Yeah, they really, it's obvious that they really wanted to change things in this new millennia. They made it very obvious. And it has been a lot different than the 1900s. 2000s have been much, much, much different. It's like night and day. And it's not a coincidence. It's all by design. That's why this one dude wrote a book back in the 60s. It was called The Plan for a New America. And it pretty much talked about all this shit. But they needed a new Pearl Harbor, and when did that happen? Right around the first year of the 2000s, 2001. So yeah, they were planning this out when they built the fucking World Trade Center. Believe me, the World Trade Center was built with that in mind. It was designed ahead of time for that very event. You don't have to believe me. That's how far back this shit fucking goes and how far they plan into the future. Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. Some wild shit. But yeah, it's easy to sit there and say that this guy's insane. But yeah, people who don't have kids anymore. People don't want to have kids. How bad you have to abuse an animal to make it stop breeding. Yes. But they give them a lot of alternatives too. Every woman is on birth control. They've been pushing birth control down our throats, no pun intended, for decades, right? Since before it started about around like 1970s when birth, because they needed to start slowing down the population growth. And pretty much every chick I ever knew in my life was on birth control. I never had a chance to be a father. But there are some rumors, I might have at least one child out there. But the mother was such a cunt, she never fucking let me know she was even pregnant. What a world, huh? I shouldn't have said that, man. But it's true. Other people told me about it. And the God is this woman even named the child after me. Never let me have a part of his life. We gotta check it. We got to, man. But yeah, he wants to put an antenna in everybody's fucking head, right? Yeah, that's another freaky thing that's coming up. They want everybody to have an antenna in your fucking head. A Neuralink. They'll probably give it to you for free if you really want one. They'll spend, thousands and thousands of dollars. They won't charge you nothing because they just want to put Neuralinks in people's heads, like as a huge experiment. I bet you, man, if I went down there, they would say, "Oh yeah, we'll put one in there for free. You don't have to pay a dime. We'll put a Neuralink in your fucking head." Yeah. How many people are going to fall for that one, man? My God. That's why Elon was like saying, in the future, people won't need phones. Yeah, Elon says, in the future, people won't need phones and they won't need money. You just have this thing in your fucking head and it'll take care of everything for you. You just walk around, you go to the store, you can pay with your Neuralink through your fucking skull, And you won't need no money because everything will be paid for, right? Universal basic income. The robots will do all the work for us and we'll all have a nice, easy life. That's what Elon says. All right. Then why don't you give away your $1 trillion fucking dollars, Elon? God damn. I don't know why I get all pissed off. People are so stupid that we create dickheads like Elon Musk. This fucking arrogant fucking turd of a fucking scumbag with an ego the size of fucking Jupiter, or maybe even the sun itself. I'm worth $1 trillion now. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm worth $1 trillion. The way he talks, yeah. I'm worth $1 trillion. And in the future, people won't need money. 6.66 G free government Wi-Fi brain link 2030. Woohoo! Fuck yeah. It'll be 6.66 gig, I'm sure. Free. And it'll go right to your Neuralink. Yes. You'll get 666 gigabytes right to your fucking Neuralink. Right to your fucking main line into your fucking skull. Fuck. Crazy. What a nightmare. Why did they got to make life such a fucking nightmare? It's like way worse than any sci-fi movie I've ever seen in my life. Even the Twilight Zone, Even the Twilight Zone couldn't have fucking predicted this shit. Yes, I have that tune memorized. How many hours of my youth I wasted watching the Twilight Zone? The same episodes over and over and over again. Well, we asked to live in interesting times. Did we really? I didn't ask for nothing, man. All I know is one day I woke up and here I was having to fucking survive in this fucking nightmare. All of a sudden, my parents would tell me, you got to go to school. What do you mean? Yeah, get your ass out of bed. You got to go to school. Huh? Yeah, you got to go to school for the next 12 fucking years. And then you got to fucking get your ass out of here and get yourself a fucking job. Huh? Thanks. Yeah. None of us asked to be fucking born in this nightmare. Fuck. Or did we? Some people believe that we all chose this. To live in these trying times, it's good for the soul. We chose this. Our souls chose this to suffer on planet Earth. I don't think my soul would have chosen it. They just can't leave a PPL alone. Alone. Oh, you can't leave people alone. Okay, yeah. They can't. Kidding me? Think they can fucking leave you alone and just let you live? No! They rule this motherfucker. They just let people alone. People will go live in the woods without being hassled like natural humans. You can't do that. You gotta fucking live under Caesar's fucking law. You gotta fucking get a job, pay your taxes, fucking buy yourself a house or rent an apartment. You can't just live in your fucking car. You can't just live out in the woods in a little shack that you built by yourself. Oh no, they hate that, dude. If they catch you building a house out in the woods, they frown upon that big time. You're building a structure in nature. That's a big fucking crime here in Colorado. So yeah, there's no fucking freedom anywhere, man. The delusion of freedom. You got to buy a house. You got to pay taxes. Even if you own the house, you got to pay your fucking property taxes every year. And we're going to raise them every fucking year without stop and insurance. It's all going to just keep fucking going through the roof. Yeah, unbelievable. And then they're just going to keep raising people's tax till we're all just fucking taxed the fuck out and dead. That's where it's headed, man. But yeah, that's where it's headed, and that's the plan. That's why it's happening. That's why this cost of living increases just keep going up and up, and they keep raising our taxes, they keep raising our insurance. It's never going to end until we're all gone. That's it. Sad but true. The writing's on the wall, man. Why do you think it just keeps fucking going up every fucking year? The increase is more and more. 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. You know, your property tax goes from 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, and your income hasn't gone up at all. It's just 2030, you will own nothing and fucking be happy, and they're doing it. There's no doubt about it. They're economically fucking destroying this fucking country. We're not just the people, the fucking middle working class people of this country are being destroyed. And it's not going to end. Yeah, I know. I'm not real happy in this episode. I got 3 viewers still. Fuck. I just see what's going on. I feel bad for the poor fucking families of this country, man. That are like, I seen a pregnant woman the other day, and I'm like, God, I feel bad for that child that's growing inside of her. You know, you don't see many anymore. The population is definitely going down. Not many people are having children. God bless that woman for having a child, because, you know, not many, you know, and please make that child's future better than ours was. But no, my most of my life has been that fucking bad. I don't know, man. I was gonna be so fucking negative about everything, but yeah. What's positive going on right now? The World Cup is in America. There's nothing but people talking about how that's a shit show. So I don't know. Looks like this stream's about looking played out. Thanks everybody who showed up tonight. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys stopping by for sure. That's why I keep doing it every week, man. Somebody stops by and hear my fucking ranting. But anyways, we'll talk to you guys next week. Love y'all.